Winter Packet, question 8. We made it to the last question. A touchdown is worth 6 points. During the regular 2013 NFL season, Joe Flacco scored 19 touchdowns. In 2012, he scored 25 touchdowns, and in 2011, he scored 20 touchdowns. How many points did Joe Flacco score for the Ravens in the 3 years? Explain how you found your answer. Now, before we move on, I just want to say that PG County made this winter packet, and even though the Redskins Stadium is in PG County, they still decided to go with the Ravens in the winter packet because they know the Ravens is about that. Just saying. Okay, so the question here is asking, how many points did Joe Flacco score for the Ravens in the 3 years? We're looking for the number of points that he scored, not the number of touchdowns, but the amount of points that he scored. So let's pull out some important information that's going to help us figure out the amount of points he scored. We know that each touchdown is worth 6 points, that in year 3 he scored 19 points. I know it said 2013, but I don't want to add all these numbers and get confused, so I'm just simple. Year 3, 19 points, or 19 touchdowns, 19 touchdowns. In year 2, he scored 25 touchdowns, and in year 1, he scored 20 touchdowns. So there's a couple of ways that we could go about answering this question, or at least there's a couple of methods that come to my mind immediately. If we're trying to figure out the amount of points that he scored, we could add up all the touchdowns that he scored, right? Get the total number of touchdowns that he scored, and then convert that into points because we know each touchdown is worth 6 points. So we can find the total number of touchdowns and then change that into points, or we could change these touchdowns into points now. So find out how many points he got in year 3, find out how many points he got in year 2, find out how many points he got in year 1, and then add the points up. Either way, you're going to get your correct answer. I'm going to do both, actually. So let's start off with finding the total number of touchdowns first, and then converting that into points. I see here he's got 20 points, touchdowns. 20 touchdowns, 25 touchdowns, 19 touchdowns. I can do mental math. 20 plus 20 is 40, plus 10 is 50, and then I'm going to add this 9, 59, plus 1 is 60, and then add the 4 more, 64. So that's a total of 64 touchdowns he had in all 3 years. Now we can change those touchdowns into points. Remember, each touchdown is worth 6 points. So he had 64 touchdowns. He had 6 points for the first touchdown, 6 points for the second touchdown, 6 points for the third touchdown, 6 points, 6 points, 6 points. We could add 6 plus 6 plus 6, 64 times. But that strategy doesn't seem very efficient. It's not a good use of our time. It would take too long. We have better ways. So let's just do 64 times 6. 6 times 64. I have set up the box method. We know we're multiplying by 6. And so now this 64, I'm going to decompose into 60 and 4. So now I'm going to multiply 6 times 60 and then 6 times 4 and then get the total. Well, 6 times 60. 6 times 6 is 36, and then times that by 10, 360. Times 4, 24. And so all we got to do now is add that together. 360 plus 20, 380, and then the 4, 384. That's 384 points for Joe Flacco. That's one strategy that we could use. So we found the total number of touchdowns and then multiplied the total by 6. Let's do it a different way. So this time, let's find the total number of points he had for each year. So the total number of points for 19 touchdowns, the total number of points for 25 touchdowns, and the total number of points for 20 touchdowns, and then add those points together. Now we could, just like we did in our last method, we could use the box method to multiply 6 times 19, then 6 times 25, and 6 times 20. But I'm actually going to do something a little different. I'm going to use a table. So I have touchdowns on one side and points on the other side. One touchdown is worth 6 points. We know this. Let's just get it out the way. One touchdown, 6 points, which means 2 touchdowns will be 12 points. Right? We can keep going. I'm going to skip down a few. 5 touchdowns will be 30 points because 5 times 6 is 30. Jump up to a bigger number, 10. 10 touchdowns, 60 points. 10 times 6 is 60. That's easy to do. So now that we know 10 touchdowns is 60 points, we can easily find out 20 touchdowns because 10 plus 10 is 20, where 20 is twice as big as 10. So 60 plus 60, that's 120. 120 is twice as big as 60. Okay, another way to think about it is, okay, we already knew one touchdown was 6 points. 10 times more than 1 is 10. 10 times more than 6 is 60. 20, 10 times more than 2 is 20. 10 times more than 12, 120. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, all right. Now, you'll notice I left a little space here. That's because I know we need to figure out 19 touchdowns. So let's back up. Let's go to 19 touchdowns. 19 touchdowns is going to be easy to solve now that we know 20. 20 minus 1 is 19. So we need to not subtract 1 here, but 6, because we took away 1 touchdown. So 1 touchdown is 6 points. 120 minus 6, 114. 114 plus 6 will get you 120. So 19 touchdowns is 114 points. Oh yeah, this table's looking real nice right now. Check us out. So we got 19 touchdowns. We got 20 touchdowns. We just need to figure out what 25 touchdowns is. Lucky for us, we've already done all the hard work. 25 is the same thing as 20 plus 5. So 25 touchdowns is going to be the same thing as if we add the number of points from 20 touchdowns and the number of points from 5 touchdowns. So 20 plus 5, 25. 120 plus 30, 150. Ooh, just like that, man. It's smooth. This table, this is a bad thing right here. Anyways, about to put you on the table. Like it's WWE out here. I'm sorry, that was stupid. That was corny. All right. So these are the numbers we need. We need 19 touchdowns, 20 touchdowns, and 25 touchdowns because that's what Joe Flacco did. And so we can quickly add this mental math. 100, 200, 300. All right, that's easy. 350 plus 20 is 370. All right, 350, 360, 370. Plus 10 more, 380. Plus that 4, 384. Still 384 points in total. So our answer, even though we did it 2 different ways, is the exact same, 384 points. Remember, when you do this, don't forget to explain how you found your answer. This is the last video because that was the last question. I think there's a bonus in the winter packet. Please go ahead and make an attempt on that. I'm not going to make a video for it, but go for it. You got it.